Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff. I drive a 2004 Honda S2000, and I am your Southern Californian Taiwanese American.
I'm Andrew. No Parth again this week. Busy man. But I drive a 2014 Evo 10 MR, and my 2015 Subaru BRZ is still in the shop waiting for parts. Due to quote-unquote supply chain issues. Parts are on back order. It's fucked up. But we have a guest this week. It's Davnic Media, our most loyal supporter out there. But yeah, welcome to the show. You want to, I guess, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Listened to you guys for quite some time now. So it means a lot to be joining the show. I guess I can kind of match your guys' intro a bit. I'm a South African born but living in Norway, and I drive a new car every week because my car is in the shop. So, we got something in common there.
What is it this week?
This week it is a Nissan Navara. So
We don't have those. What the hell is that?
Oh. Yeah, that's a good question. A pickup truck, basically.
Okay.
The ones that are known for braking by the frame.
Oh, good. That's
Nice.
always safe to hear on a pickup truck.
Yeah.
What's the car that's in the shop?
Well, it is a. I don't think you guys get this Mercedes in the States, but it is a G-wagon, but it's a G270. So basically, a G-wagon with a G-wagon look and everything. But with an engine from a Sprinter, a 2.7 liter.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a V6?
It's a straight 5.
What?
Yeah, straight 5 diesel. It's supposed to be one of the most reliable engines for those old Mercedes. And I bought that a couple of months ago and noticed a few issues. Sent it in for a little checkup, wasn't expecting much, and got a repair bill for 125,000 kroners, Norwegian kroners, which is about $12,000 or $13,000.
No, very reliable there.
Oh yeah, and
God.
that whole story is just so messed up though. I think the worst part about it is, I mean, this has been a dream car for years.
This specific one?
Yes, but I kind of like to split it in two. I have a dream car for my company and the use that I can, apply to there, and a G-Wagon really fits the bill. So I sold a car that I was really, really happy with, Lexus LS 400, which is a very rare car in Norway, and you don't really get them that much.
Oh, really?
Sold that for the advantage of the G-Wagon, and then now I don't have the Lexus. Now the G-Wagon is broken, and yeah, so that I guess your typical car enthusiast story.
Yeah, the typical life. Something's always being worked on. Something's always in the garage.
Oh yeah, no, it's a shame though, because obviously that's a lot of money to spend on a car that you already spent a lot of money on from before. So,
And is insurance covering any of that, or is that going to be all out of pocket? Because when I bought I think we all own used cars here. So my biggest fear when I bought the Evo, when I was checking it out, I did as much thorough research as I could. I looked at under the hood, checked under the car as much as I could. But even after buying it and being pretty confident that this isn't a lemon for the first few months, even now I'm just fuck, this thing's gonna break.
Oh yeah, no, that was a fear, and unfortunately, I guess I was a bit too eager. I mean, we've all been there, you go and check out a car and you just kind of make up your mind. But
Yeah.
I had this full sense of confidence because for years, I mean, I guess even since 2015, I've been researching G-Wagons and always dreaming about them and did as much research as possible. And I checked out the car, spent almost 2 hours looking at absolutely everything. It all looked okay. And it didn't help that I had visited a G-wagon dealer the same day. I thought that would help me, not get too excited when I see my own, but obviously that had a completely opposite effect. So, I checked out the car, took it home immediately. The car locked me out when I was at a gas station. I couldn't get into it. Like it lost power on the highway, and I really couldn't figure out what it was. And yeah, so I did buy a bit of a lemon. But to answer your question, there's absolutely nothing that's going to be covered by insurance. It is all out of pocket. But in Norway, you're very protected when you buy vehicles. So I'm going through a process now. And because it is a legal process, I can't say too much. But what insurance is doing is they are covering all my legal fees. So I've got a lawyer involved. And we're trying to figure it out, either to get the guy who bought the car from to pay, or to get the car back and get my money back. It's a bit of a headache.
Wow. At least you guys have some sort of like legal coverage, because I feel like here in the United States, if you buy a lemon, you're on your own. The policy is you hit the buyer back with a damn that's crazy, and then you block their number. My friend recently sold his car, and like a week later, he knew it was kind of beat up, but like a week after, I guess the buyer had texted him like, "Hey, this is wrong with the car. The check engine light came on," and he just stopped answering. I guess I know it's fucked up, but it's probably something I would do too, honestly. Like you bought the car. What do you want me to do with it? But yeah, like you really can't expect the seller to do much at that point. I don't know. Even when I bought the Evo and I like found things here and there, was like, hey, I noticed the hose for the windshield wiper fluid has been chewed in half. He was like, didn't know that. That's crazy.
Bye.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like all the issues that I did find with the Evo, I asked the previous owner about it, and he was just like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess, because what can you do, if he isn't willing
exactly.
No, I mean, I guess we're quite fortunate there. And while all this was happening, I was selling the Lexus as well. And that made me really afraid, because I had done a lot of the research about how many rights the buyer of a car in Norway has. So me selling the Lexus, I was thinking, okay, well, it is an old car. Like, I know that the car is good in many, many ways. But there was a bit of a fear of, well, what if I land up in his situation,
Oh, someone comes back at you about the Lexus.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything yet, and he seems very happy. So, and I miss that car a lot. That is probably one of my biggest regrets. It's a real shame.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that car a little bit. Yeah, I didn't know that car is not that specific one, but like LSs are just about everywhere here. Yeah, and they're not that expensive. How much did you pay for that Lexus again?
So funny enough, paid the exact amounts that my repair bill is on the G-wagon. So about $13,000.
Oh, jeez.
I think I was straight piping the car as we were chatting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the whole clapping it out and.
Yeah, which is apparently more illegal in Norway to modify your car than it is in California.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. But you guys, as far as I know, you can get your car taken away from you.
There's steps to it. I think first you get this thing called a state ref. So like a police catches you, they give you a state ref ticket. You take it to what's called a state referee. You have to revert your car back to stock essentially, and they have to inspect it and make sure it is back to stock.
Yeah, okay. So pretty much the same here. They do that. They take your plates if you don't get it organized. But there's a little bit more leniency in that sense. But every 2 years, you have to send your car in for a check. And they go over everything to see if it's mechanically sound. The Lexus had to get checked next March. So he's trying to run around and try and find OEM parts because it's lowered. It's on BC coils and all that. So we need original air suspension and all those finicky parts, and then just to revert it back to stock, and then
put it back to how you had
it.
it.
And then you can do that for another 2 years, and then you have to start all over again.
So every 2 years you have to mod your car, basically, like back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
So it's a bit of a headache, and they're doing sound tests, like these spot checks everywhere. It's like a own division. It's not the police, but they work for the state, and then that's their sole purpose is to check cars and check if they're road legal, and they're harsh.
man.
They're very, very harsh.
Man, because in California, we're already complaining like, oh no, we got all these laws that the car people are not going to be able to do anything. But it sounds like we may have it quite a bit easier here.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do they check wheel width and wheel size, dimensions, all that? They don't.
I know.
Oh, okay, yeah, they do that here. So even if you have like a 5 mm spacer, that's not okay. You get like a card, which has all the information on your car from how it's delivered or how it's imported. And if it doesn't match that card, then you get basically state rep, as you guys say. So if your wheels aren't original or at least original size or whatever, then yeah, you have to get that changed.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Never living in Norway.
Yeah, kind of sucks. But it does encourage a lot of track stuff, which is basically the reason why I have a career.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a filmmaker, a photographer. Filmmaker comes first. I do all things automotive. So mainly I'm in the drifting scene. I do drifting after movies and shoot videos for events here in Norway, different clients and whatnot. And then I do used car photography on a daily basis to fill up the weekdays. Since June, I think I've just passed around 1,000 cars. A lot of, I mean, anything from AMGs to your typical Suzuki Aunt cars and all that. Yeah, and just anything automotive, really. So I did a shoot for Neo, an electric car company, who just came to
Neo.
Norway. Yeah, the ones that have the exchangeable batteries, which are pretty interesting. So it varies a lot, but mainly anything automotive.
Wow. Yeah, I watched some of your drift after movies. Those are fun watches.
Oh, thanks, man.
It must be awesome being at the events and you get to be in the cars, right? Sometimes. I see.
Oh yeah, I prefer not to because usually I'm on a very tight schedule, and if I have
Yeah.
a certain client and it's a huge track, then I try to cover it from as many angles as possible. And if I'm in the car, then that's one round that I didn't get an exterior shot on. So what I did this year is I rented a GoPro kit and had a dedicated GoPro guy who would just go to the cars, to my different clients, set up the GoPros, make sure they're running, and that took a lot of the workload off.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw in one of the videos you lost one of those 360 cameras, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an expensive weekend. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. I have a bit of a graveyard with all my camera gear and lenses and GoPros, and like I'd start a season and purposely buy cheaper GoPros, so like GoPro Hero 3s. And people complain about quality, and I tell them, well, hey, that GoPro is not going to live. You're not going to see this GoPro at the end of the season. And so there's a few of them scattered around the racetracks here in bits and pieces. But you get cool shots. So
yeah, those 360 views are awesome. I'm sure, like if they're like, oh, quality is not good enough, just pay me more. I could get nicer GoPros for you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's I've lost a few over the years, but I mean that's the cost of business. You get some cool shots, so it's worth it.
Yeah. How'd you get into all of this? Because I know, like, with Jeffrey and I, like, if we didn't have to work normal jobs, that is absolutely what we would be doing.
Well, I mean, there's a long story to it, and there's a short answer as well. It depends what you guys want to hear. But for me, I've always been a car enthusiast, and at the same time, I had a couple of experiences many years ago that I filmed, not really thinking much of it. I just thought, okay, this is cool to document, and it was some stuff that happened down in South Africa. And then I came back to Norway and wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do school-wise, and saw that there was a private school that could teach you filmmaking and photography, and I just started there. Slowly got into festival videos and did some tours with some artists. Got really tired of that lifestyle. You tour for a couple of months and work with people who are very hot-headed, to say it very nicely. And it really just put me off. And I didn't really want to do filmmaking anymore. And at the same time, I was working as a barista and didn't really know what direction I wanted to go. But all of a sudden, at one of the jobs that I was at a nightclub, G-wagon drove past. That was the first. That was the first time I ever saw a G-wagon. I saw him then a couple of weeks later, and then decided, okay, I'm going to stand in the middle of the street and I'm going to stop him. I'm going to ask, what is this? I see it's a Mercedes, but what is this? And he was very shocked. He thought I was going to yell at him for driving fast or whatever. But we struck up a conversation. I then asked him, hey, would you be interested in maybe doing a photo shoot? We did that photo shoot, and it kind of just clicked from there. I saw potential here to actually make a bit of money doing something that I was very interested in at the same time that I'm learning about a passion that I had. So from there, it just kind of, it was a domino effect. Through the years, I got bigger and bigger jobs. I could stop doing the nightclub stuff, stop doing the festival stuff, and just merge everything with the automotive. And now it's a full-time job. It's been that for about 2.5 years.
That's awesome. And I'm guessing that's where the dream car came from, of the G-wagon.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a very, call it, sentimental person, very sensitive in that sense. So those things really mean a lot. And I kind of, even though it's just a G-wagon and a lot of people view that in a certain way, for me that was a stepping stone for my career. For me, that was the reason why I was motivated to get into this and started chasing something. So it meant more, and it was always that dream of one day having my own G-wagon, and with the company logo on and that whole thing, I just been kind of chasing that for a while.
You still have the same sentimentality with what's going on with that car right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's kind of put me a bit off, if I'm going to be honest.
Hey, they say don't never meet your heroes.
Yeah, exactly. That's I was actually thinking about that the other day. That's a good point.
Like with I've been dailying the Evo for like 3 weeks now, and I love it, don't get me wrong, but holy shit, like I'm spending like $100 to $120 on gas every week. And it's like, man, my original intent was to buy this as a daily driver, and if I sold the BRZ to buy this, I would be so fucking mad right now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I should have known that. But then, like on top of that, like the maintenance is expensive. It's a handful. Yeah, it's not just like own the car.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I guess maybe I was a bit naive then when I first started. Like, for example, the Lexus, the fuel cost on that is insane. And Norway isn't exactly the cheapest country to drive petrol cars.
What's your gas price though? About to do a California flex.
I don't think ours are as high as we think, Andrew.
Yeah, probably. I'm just comparing with the rest of the United States, which is the entire world.
There's the whole gallon to liters and miles to kilometers thing. But I get around, with the Lexus, I got around 1.4 liters per 10 kilometers.
Jeffrey's cranking out the math.
Yeah, how much are gas prices there?
At the moment, in my city, it's for petrol, it is 20 kroners per liter.
Liters per gallon.
How much is 20 kroners?
Wait, kroner. So 20 is $2.20.
This is where Parth comes in. He should know his calculations.
Parth doesn't know anything. So 20 is. Oh fuck! Oh shit!
How much you get? What's the answer?
Okay, I'm just thinking like 20. It's about 20 per liter, right? And there are about 4 liters per gallon. Oh shit! That's so bad.
And keep in mind, per month I drive around 3,000 kilometers. So you can.
God, what's that? 3,000. Okay, I drive about the same amount as you.
Oh, okay.
It's like 80 miles a day.
And I guess that kind of explains the the podcast thing, why I ran out of of episodes.
Yeah.
How did you find our podcast, by the way?
On TikTok, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I remember the first video. You guys posted like a thing about the Mack dump truck thing. And at the time, I was looking for a podcast because I recently increased my driving, and that came up, and I was dying laughing from seeing that. So I thought, okay, let me try and find you guys. And I'd never listened to any podcast ever, so I had to find out what platform I can listen to it. And so I downloaded Castbox, found you guys there, and just kind of started from your most recent, and then just kind of worked down.
That's so crazy. Wait, so on TikTok, was it just like, did it come up on like a For You page? Like, how did you even come across? Oh,
yeah,
what?
just on For You page. Yeah.
Why were we on there?
Yeah, and in Norway, of all places. I mean, that's kind of sick.
That is really cool, though.
Because we're still trying to comprehend why someone in another country, nonetheless, would even bother listening to us like talk for an hour of just nonsense.
Well, I think it's a lot about how you guys present yourselves in the podcast, and the freeness of how you talk and the topics as well.
Thanks,
for me at least. I mean, it was cool. It was kind of unfiltered. You guys knew how to have a lot of fun without having too many like inside jokes, which is what a lot of podcasts do. It's just a friend group, and then they don't really assume that people listen. But you guys catered to that quite nicely, and not to get super emotional here, but on days that were very difficult, that did have a lot of tight deadlines and a lot of driving, and then it would really, really help a lot to get in the car, drive to the next job, listen to you guys, and kind of just imagine myself in that world that you guys live in, with the sun shining, crazy cars. It just, you guys really explain the whole Cali and American car enthusiast life quite nicely.
Oh, man.
That's cool, man. Thank you. Now you're here.
Yeah, now I'm here. That's even crazier. Yeah, thanks again.
Sorry about not having episodes for 6 months.
Nah, that's fine. But, I mean, that's where, if you guys had this as a full-time opportunity, I think it would absolutely blow off even crazier or blow up. And, I get it. You guys work. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Tell all your friends. Maybe we'll blow up in Norway and then we can move out there.
Oh, yeah. And weren't we talking about the Gatebil event out here? How cool.
Oh, yeah.
That would be sick. Yeah. It's pretty famous, though. I don't know if it reaches out all the way to America.
I haven't heard anything about it until you kind of told me about it. Did you ever hear about that drift event, that big one that Davnic always got like films on?
No. Is it?
It's got that yellow logo.
It's pretty unique considering it before COVID, with a lot of Europeans obviously came up to Scandinavia, and all the Norwegians were there, and you really get to see how much money and effort and also what style is kind of in that year for certain drift cars, and the amount of Supras, the amount of also unique builds as well, like the Mercedes A-Class that I filmed not too long ago, stuff like that. You just see insane builds.
How was it during COVID with everything?
It was a challenge. That is where the used car photography came in, because you guys know from the market in America at the moment, people who sell cars are doing pretty well off, and that's what happened here. It blew up like crazy. And I got an opportunity to get into that, and that saved my whole COVID experience, I guess. And so I've been the busiest I've ever been because of COVID. So in that sense, very fortunate. At the same time, events stopped, so there wasn't drifting. If there was drifting, it was some, just a small event with a limited amount of people, and so that kind of became not too prioritized.
So this car market's about the same over where you are compared.
Oh yeah, and we're struggling to get cars.
Yeah, it's everything. It's obviously cool that you're listening overseas. Is there anything about like California car culture that kind of blows your mind based on what we talk about?
Well, I guess you guys are kind of expecting this one though, but the whole takeover scene is unfortunately what we see the most of. Because when I think LA or California, or you first think takeover and
Oh no.
and canyon driving, and the whole Jay
Yeah.
Leno laid back kind of stuff, and so and obviously the supercar stuff, with like Alex Choi and all that kind of the viral things that come out, and the fact that you guys are partly the reason that all the prices of JDM cars are going up, which makes us very mad.
Sorry.
Yeah, because you got European people. You guys got that like semi-regularly, right?
Yeah, and until
Prior.
yeah, we still have some gems here. Like take a Chaser, for example. They're not too bad over here.
Yeah, I think that might be because no one here wants one.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, and,
they're not like super common. Like when you think about like someone importing a JDM to the United States, like a Chaser probably isn't like in their top 5.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, like R32, R33, R34, S chassis.
Yeah.
More S chassis.
I mean, we definitely get our European cars cheaper, like E-chassis, BMWs, all that. And then JDM cars, that's pretty much the same market. But anything from America and over here is just insanely overpriced. I mean, take my Lexus for an example. So again, if you'd go like, okay, Hellcats or Vipers or stuff like that is just beyond they're almost double the price here. It's crazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because for the C8 Corvette, we're always raving about how affordable of a mid-engine car.
Oh yeah,
it
but
is
I can't relate to that. So
yeah.
when you guys do talk about those new American cars coming out, and like I think one of you was talking about maybe getting a Challenger or a Charger or what it was, and yeah, exactly, and explaining the prices surrounding that, and then here I know you'd pay $100,000 plus to get your basic Challenger or anything from like 2016 and up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
JDM's cooler anyway.
Oh yeah, exactly. So we're good.
Too bad Parth isn't here, huh? Are there any cars here that you wish you guys had over there in Norway?
Yeah, but it's weird to say though, but a lot of your daily drivers, which we'd love to have here, like you guys would wish to have our wagons. We would like to have some, for example, new Forerunners. You guys obviously get those. We don't get them here.
Okay.
The Rivian, for example. I don't think we're getting that. And that goes for the Cybertruck as well. Don't think we will get that either.
I can't speak to any of that, but I imagine like Model Y eventually made it to like Europe and all that. So.
Oh yeah, and you see them.
I don't see why
everywhere.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. If there's one thing Norway is very known for is obviously Teslas. We have a lot of Teslas.
I actually read somewhere. I don't think it was Norway. I forgot which like European country it was, but like they literally they weren't collecting enough gas tax because of how many Teslas were on the road.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that is Norway, but I've heard the same thing as well.
Yeah.
But the benefits here from getting an EV are crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I guess what we call MVA would also apply to tax for you guys. You don't pay tax when you buy a Tesla. So the importing costs and the effort of getting a car here obviously costs a lot of money, but you don't pay for all that. So the prices end up being the same, but then you get tax deductions. You can drive in public transport lanes. You get free parking, free charging in certain situations.
Wow.
What do you think about EVs?
Well, I mean, funny enough, Andrew and I were kind of discussing it because he's talking about making the converting over to EVs. And well, as we know, we car guys kind of change our opinions from week to week. So I don't know if you still have the same opinion, but you seem pretty strong on that, at least when we spoke. And it kind of put the same idea into my head. So I mean, I'm not sure, because at the end of the day, the amount that I drive, and obviously you can relate, Andrew, it really doesn't matter if you've got a big brawly V8 or some 2J warped monstrosity, or you're just driving to work. You just want to get there. You want to listen to your favorite podcast, and you want to and you want to just get there with feeling somewhat rested. And so I guess that's kind of where that comes in. And then obviously with the kind of work that I do, there is a certain bit of it that is, you kind of have to have a certain image when you arrive at a job. You have to present yourself in a certain way. And with my clientele, I think arriving with the Tesla would kind of have an opposite effect.
Imagine pulling up to shoot a drift event in a Corolla.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Hey, man, A86.
No, like an 04.
So it really is a first world problem. But I think to save myself some money, obviously an EV would be ideal. But to feel better about life in general, I don't know. Maybe I should stick to JDM.
To feel better about life in general.
That's why I like in my mind, I feel like if I get the performance one and I don't get the long range one, I'll feel better about it.
Yeah, it justifies it a little bit.
It still says performance on it, not eco.
Yeah, and it's fast as shit. It'll beat out just about anything else that like your friends are probably driving. But it's so expensive, and that's why I feel like I've kind of dialed back, like come back to reality a little bit. It's like, seems like a pretty bad decision to make. If I were to get one, I should get like a long range or a standard range.
Yeah, but you're planning on getting it all like kitted out with some overland stuff. That's pretty cool. Then I think you're in a different ballpark. Then you get a cool wrap on it, and it would have a use that would really outweigh that boringness. So
yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can go.
Yeah, and Davnic could get a electric G-wagon.
Oh yeah,
it's all headed there.
Yeah, they did release them. It looks funny. I mean, the whole Tron thing with the lights going down the side, and it's trying too hard, which is a shame. Yeah. I think I would want a Rivian though.
I went and saw them yesterday.
I was about to say let's talk about that.
It's everything I wanted it to be.
And you guys had a little visit to them yesterday.
Yeah, so Rivian was holding what they call First Mile. It's like they go around the country showing off cars to potential customers.
Oh, there was one in up here in Sonoma, like maybe a month ago. Yeah. One of my coworkers actually had a reservation. He gave it to me, but I was busy. But I kind of wish I went.
It was an hour drive. I was like, heck, I'm driving an hour or so out there just to see this. I didn't even get to drive it, unfortunately, but they were taking people who had pre-orders out on like the little test. It was on an airfield, so they had a little test track, go off road and whatnot. But we just got to sit and touch the cars. But I did that for 2 hours, just opening the doors, touching the steering wheel.
Yeah,
but it's a good quality car. Like coming from a first time manufacturer, I was surprised.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's pretty cool. And obviously those little quirks, as Doug put it, are really what sells it. Yeah, quirks and features. God, that dude, he's a legend. That really sells it. The whole kitchen thing and outlets, even that. It's a simple thing, but it really makes a big difference.
Yeah, like I look at it and I imagine like the camping trips. I could go out in it every weekend, just drive up the mountain, cook a thing, and then drive back down the mountain.
But that it actually brings me over to something I want to discuss with you guys, because in a lot of episodes, you guys jokingly say, "Hey Rivian, send us a car, right? Or let us try a car." And now the business
we're serious.
side. Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
It's not a joke. It's
How you messed around with their UI? How was that?
I think they fixed it because you know how we watched the video, like it's pretty laggy, right? When MKBHD and whatnot was doing it, it was fine, silky smooth. Didn't see any 2004 iPhone vibes. 2007.
Yeah, I personally, I think I have faith in Rivian. I think once they ramp up, once they really start mass producing, I think their biggest issues are going to be quality, because there's such low volume right now. They can focus on quality, but I think they have a good product.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of crazy, just like how much it feels like a company that's been like active for years, like it has been, but like it feels like they've been making cars for years because like everything from like the accessories and like the sound systems from Meridian, which is the big name. It's 19 speakers in the tiny little cabin.
Holy shit.
They work with Yakima to make the rooftop tent, the bike racks, the cookware and stuff. That's made by a brand that apparently is big in that area. And then they've got like charging all nailed, like all planned out and everything. So it seems very like well thought out, at least, which is not what I was actually expecting too much. And they brought like 8 cars to that event, which was more than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like 1 car. I was like, ooh, don't touch it.
Yeah, they need to start delivering. I think they just need to get as many cars on the road as possible.
Yeah, because they are delivering now to customers. They're going out.
More faster.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. The times that we're usually convinced that we want to check out a car is when we see it on a highway. You know, you don't think much of them until you're right next to, for example, a Model 3 when they just came out. Like, wow, okay, that it looks good rolling down the road, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they just need to establish that presence instead of all the PR events, I guess.
Yeah. Because that does an effect. Because we were driving into the parking lot to park, and then we see one just drive past us. And it's like, it's real, guys. It's an actual thing.
Was that the first time you saw one on the road?
One in person ever, and then it was also moving. I was like, whoa, my dreams are a reality.
What do you guys think about for the future for us in car enthusiasts? Which direction EV should go? Because the Hyundai Grandeur, that I think it's a concept car, just like a tribute car, the EV that came out. That's really cool.
That one.
You have a retro car.
Oh yes,
With like
That actually, I hate.
Andrew
Hyundai,
hates Hyundai Kia.
Yeah.
but that was really cool. It gave me like Blade Runner or like I don't know like dystopian like crazy vibes. That was really cool.
Yeah, because even down to the interior, because it was like a good mix of new age technology. Exactly.
That would be the deciding factor for me, I think. If someone told me you have to make a decision tomorrow, are you going to buy an EV or are you not? I'd say if that Hyundai was for sale here, then yes, definitely I'd get an EV.
Yeah, I think we talked about this on our last episode a little bit. Like, if they made like a true sports car EVs, I think as long as there's character to make up for the lack of noise and internal combustion engine explosions and fire, I think like people will love it. But if there's lacking in character, then I don't know. It's just going to be another A to B car.
Yeah, because that's the big thing, right? It's like, I mean, I guess that's why Tesla sold a lot initially, is because, you know, they looked like a performance sedan. But we just see so many of them nowadays that they kind of become like white blobs now.
And that caters to a completely different market as well, because it's more towards the tech people, you know. Look how futuristic my car looks and that kind of stuff. But, you know, when you think about our niche, car enthusiasts, we want that. We want a car that screams character. And the whole reason why Lexus LS400s are so popular, because they have that old, you know, luxurious mafia look to them. And I mean, that would be the deciding factor for me.
Yeah, we need to bring back that era of design too. I used to hate it, all the straight lines, all the like ruler edges, but now I see more and more 80s and especially
retro
Japanese
is so
cars.
Cool.
I'm like, wish we kept that Accord from back in the 90s.
Yeah, dude, retro Japanese cars like the really old ones, like 70s, 80s, so cool.
Yeah,
you used to see them as like. It's like, what the fuck is that piece of shit? But yeah, it's really cool. Like, since you brought that, like, I was just thinking right now, like, there's going to be, I think, more and more EV companies that come out. What if, like, well, they obviously won't cater to, like, I don't think Hyundai will ever make this, like, actually. But we could start, like, a coach builder company and build these.
That's what Cadillac's doing, kind of. Their new next EV car after the what's it called, the Lyric, their SUV. After that is the Celestiq, I think. That's gonna be a handmade. It's gonna be $100,000, I think, but handmade Cadillac EV. I mean, it's expensive.
Really cool.
I won't be able to afford it, but like
No, I'm
it
talking about like a
brings
custom coach build. Like you get a base. You get a base. Essentially, you get the skateboard of like the EV, right? And then you get a coach builder.
Yeah, didn't Ford do that for, if I'm not mistaken, for SEMA? And some body shop took an old, what was it?
Oh,
Some
yes.
old F series, and yeah, they just used, like you said, a skateboard platform and built an
Yeah.
old retro car on top of it.
Yeah, I think they
I did not
shoved
know
the. I don't know if it was the. I don't know if it was the Lightning or the Maverick or something into an old into an old body.
The Lightning. That sounds pretty on brand.
It was just that we would have to buy them, right? Like as I said last week, as car
Yeah, of
enthusiasts, we need to tell these companies that this is what we want. Make more of it. Take my money.
And then actually give them the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole Accord issue again, and that got released, and everyone wants a coupe, but they said, yeah, we can make you a coupe, but you know, it's going to cost too much. It's not going to be worth it. So yeah, you know, the whole shared platform stuff that car manufacturers are doing, and yeah, I mean, there is a business behind it. Obviously, they need to make money.
Yeah. So we as car enthusiasts need to put our money where our mouths are.
Exactly.
And we say take our money a lot of the time, and then we don't give them our money. We take our money, and they're like, "No, I'm not gonna let it go."
Now that we got you loose, oh, I can hear the birds waking early to sing.
All right. I'm ready to do some news. It's Christmas approaching here in the States. I thought I'd shove this in there in case anyone wants to give someone a gift for Christmas. Actually, it's out of stock, so not really. But I'm pretty sure you guys saw this. It was Gillette made a Gillette made a racer with
Audi.
Bugatti.
Did not see this. What the fuck?
It's out of stock apparently on Gillette's website. It's a heated razor, which is not a Bugatti exclusive thing, but you get a magnetic charging wireless dock, the heated razor handle, a cleaning cloth, and I believe this was at a price of.
Can we look at the shape of that cleaning towel?
The L-shaped cleaning towel?
Yeah, why?
You could get this on Amazon. I don't know if they still have it for $169.
You know who's not going to buy this?
Oh.
People that own Bugattis.
A weird thing to buy.
Yes.
What a weird thing to produce.
I could totally see this being a part of a collection of, you know how you get the Mercedes owners who have the Mercedes cap and the Mercedes t-shirt and go to car shows, and you can just see this like a boomer Bugatti owner flexing his Bugatti shaver.
His razor.
Yeah, it's got his trunk open. And it's like Bugatti aftershave, Bugatti razor, and there you go. Well, that's a quick thing. But speaking of Bugatti, this happened a while back, but we were just not on the air to cover it. Bugatti is the joint venture with Rimac. I don't know if we covered it, but
we definitely talked about it, like texted each other about it.
yeah.
I can't remember hearing anything. So
Trust Davnic, he listens to it.
Okay.
But like I saw this initially, like, oh, look, cool, Bugatti, Volkswagen Bugatti's partnering with Rimac, to maybe produce some electric cars. I got this Road and Track like magazine thing over at the LA Auto Show, right? It's called "This Is the Tomorrow We Want," and then in it there's a page that just goes over 2030 by the numbers. Basically, Road and Track just looked at how the automotive industry is now and predict how it's going to be in 2030. But there's a section right here called "Numbers of Brands Directly Controlled by Volkswagen," and it's like a diagram of all the brands that Volkswagen controls. And in 2012, there's Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, Skoda, Bentley, Lamborghini, Bugatti, MAN, Ducati, Porsche. But in 2021, they have Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, Skoda, Bentley, Lamborghini, MAN, Ducati, Porsche. What's missing?
I don't know.
Bugatti's apparently no longer under direct control of Volkswagen Group. Apparently, Bugatti, the guy that runs Rimac, he now is the one in control of Bugatti.
Holy.
Wow.
Right? Like, so Volkswagen got rid of like Bugatti under their direct control, and now this electric supercar startup-ish is now running Bugatti, which I thought was
The ultimate success story. That guy built up from basically nothing. That's crazy.
yeah, that's nuts. To running the most distinguished brand in the automotive world, I guess. And I guess does that mean the future of Bugatti is all electric?
Probably.
Do you think they
what
gave
more?
him a razor?
Hopefully.
What more can Bugatti do with an internal combustion engine to top what they currently have? 5 turbos? 6 turbos?
Because the Model S sort of kind of destroys the whole top speed game, or at least acceleration.
Yeah, not top speed, acceleration.
It's just not as impressive anymore when you hear, oh, Bugatti goes to 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's under 200k. That smokes it. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But I remember, I thought Porsche was part of this partnership. So did Rimac bought Bugatti, and then Porsche was like, I still want in, or?
I think Volkswagen and whatnot's still working with him, but they're just not like, they've just relinquished control, basically. Which
That's
I
really
think
crazy. Like,
right?
does Rimac, do they make sales?
I don't know. I mean, all I know is Richard Hammond crashed their car.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about Rimac.
It's good marketing there.
Yeah, he didn't die, so that is great marketing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just I didn't expect it. All right, like out of all the companies to come like to be rising up in the electric field, I didn't think Rimac was one of the big ones. I mean, obviously they're making a pretty niche car, but for a Volkswagen to be like, hey, here's Bugatti was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, when you talk about EVs, you don't hear about Rimac. You hear more about, like, I don't know, Nikola more than you hear about Rimac.
For all the scandals from Nikola.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Telling you, the end is near. I keep seeing posts that I, like, send to Parth and Jeff, and it's just, like, more and more solidifies the fact that the internal combustion engine is really on its way out. Like, I want to say, like, next 10 years.
That's a scary era for us.
Yeah, like what are we gonna do?
Drive EVs.
Try these. Make all the V8 sounds with our mouths.
Just feed the audio in. I saw on YouTube there was a Model 3 with like those, like the speaker exhaust thing, and it had like a V12. It's pretty cool.
That's just sad.
Did you see that guy who like what was it V8 swapped Model S or V12
No.
swapped? Oh,
No.
Some guy like straight up just like I think this is the same guy we were talking about earlier. How the Tesla community when he sold his Tesla was like mass disliked his videos. But someone did I think a V8 swap of a Tesla.
Oh yes, Rich rebuilds.
Yeah,
That's crazy. He had to
that
chop
is
that
the
car
future.
up and like yeah.
So we buy EVs and replace the engines with with internal combustion. Next up in the news, I have luxury news. You know how Mercedes has the Maybach, and when you hear Maybach, it's like it's a sound of money. Well, prepare to hear another name. You got people pulling up in their Maybach, and pretty soon you're gonna have people pulling up in their Horch.
That's a horrible name.
Can you imagine that name in like rap songs?
Yeah.
Pulling up
Pull
in
up
my
in the
Horch.
Horch.
But
It looks good.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
this is for the Chinese market. It's an
That makes
extended
sense.
wheelbase, yeah. A8.
Shitty names. Like what is it? Oh, the dick ass brakes.
That's right, yes. We got dick ass brakes. We got Audi A8L Horch.
Got my dick ass big brake kit.
But yeah, it's basically a Maybach rival for China.
Those pillows look like ravioli.
That's what you got out of that.
Doesn't that look like a Passat to you?
I mean, it's a Volkswagen,
Oh, yeah.
so it's like,
It's all the same.
yeah. I mean, it's
I
an
like
Audi,
the rims
so-
though.
I do,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's really clean.
When Mercedes first came out with the big flat dish rims for the Maybach, I was like, why? But the more I look at them now on these guys, they look nice. Gives it that sense of money, basically.
Yeah.
Speaking of more luxury, we're gonna get into Andrew's favorite company. So there was an article out on Car and Driver that just had the title 2023 Genesis G90 revealed looking like a true flagship sedan. And I want to see if you guys agree.
That's interesting. See that they've really gone full out with their lights. Like the couple of their EVs that got released have some very interesting lights.
Yeah, like I'm not a huge fan of these like split lights and the whole like big grill type deal that Genesis has been doing, but this looks
Why
expensive
does that look
to
like
me.
Yeah. Why does it look like they welded two different cars together though? Like the front
Yeah,
and back, I feel like don't mesh well.
Yeah, because it's like this is like what, like Bentley Mulsanne maybe, and
Yeah.
this is
I don't know what that is. Lincoln Continental.
they also have the big dish rims.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah,
back.
Yeah,
Dude,
the
Like
Like
the
it-
back half of the car looks cool.
Yeah, this
windshield
looks a
is
bit.
very steep.
But yeah, I see what you mean, right? The front looks smaller than the rear right here. Do you guys get Genesises over in Norway?
No, actually, I was going to mention that because I saw a story not too long ago. The first Genesis that I've seen in Norway. Someone spotted it, and I've no idea which one it was, but it was the again, just to narrow it down a bit, the one you typically see in those takeover videos. You know, the so yeah, saw
The
saw
coupes,
one of them.
Genesis coupe.
Yeah, that's it. The dude's reaction to that, seeing that car, was pretty funny. It was because as far as we all know, that's the only one in Norway.
Here you go, Andrew. When you become a big executive, here it is. Your
No.
next car.
No.
Well, yeah, that's all the news I had for this week. That does it for the show. Thanks, Davnic, for coming on. As always, like, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I say, guys, it's I feel honored for you guys to have me here, and been listening to you for a long time now. It's been entertaining, so I'm just very happy for the opportunity to sit here and talk to you guys. It's like the ultimate fan's dream to to sit and join the podcast that you've been listening to for so long. So it means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't too disappointing. Remember, never meet your heroes. Or heroes. But yeah, thank you guys as always for listening. As always, you can check us out at thecurbsidepodcast.com, where I have links to all of our stuff. We did it. We made it.
What do
We
we do?
finally have our own YouTube URL.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
If you type in youtube.com/the Curbside Podcast, you get
No
to the
way.
Curbside Podcast YouTube channel. It's no longer youtube.com/WKCR12357.
Wait, why? What qualified us for that?
I don't know. I got an email from YouTube and it's like, hey, you qualify. Make sure you do it before someone else
Yeah,
takes it.
we see you struggling. Here's the little gift. No money, but you can have a URL.
Yeah, just checked it out now. It's legit. It's updated.
Yeah, we did it.
Norway can confirm.
Yeah.
You can check us out on social media. I was going to say YouTube. YouTube.com/the Curbside Podcast. Instagram at the Curbside Podcast. Twitter at Curbside Pod. TikTok at the Curbside Podcast. What else? Oh, fuck. Facebook. Facebook.com/the Curbside
This always goes well.
Curbside Podcast, and I think that's it. Oh, emailing needs. If you want to email us with shit you want to talk about, or if you want to give us money, the Curbside Podcast at gmail.com. Hit us up. Yeah, I think that's it.
And thank you, as always, guys. Thank you to
Kid Dope
for the intro and outro of our song, Fast Cars and Wild Hearts. And check us out at the youtube.com/the Curbside Podcast. And then, yeah, as always, my name's Jeff.
I'm Andrew.
Davnic.
No Parth. Oh, yeah, and Davnic. Thanks, Davnic.
We'll try to have you on when Parth is on as well, so we can get
Yeah,
full
you can
experience.
replace Parth. Oh, I think we just said totally different messages.
As always, drive safe. And life is too short to drive boring cars.